Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design, and this is Throwback Thursday. This is a weekly series where I share a project made with a favorite older collection. This year, I'm doing a monthly calendar desk folio with Graphic 45's Time to Flourish, which was one of my favorite collections when I was on their design team. And they've brought it back in a deluxe collector's edition. And I thought y'all would enjoy a calendar monthly project. So this is our fourth month in this. This month we're doing April. This week we're doing the April, so that you have time to get it made before the calendar flips over. So you're going to need both the images page and the floral page from the April in 12 by 12, and you're also going to need it from the 8 by 8 to complete this project. You're also going to need 3 sheets of a soft blue, a sheet of white, and this should be about 110 pounds. This can be 65, it doesn't matter. And then you're going to need about an 85 pound of this yellow. And you're going to need 3 sheets of this, 3 sheets of this, and 1 sheet of this to complete this project. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to do is cut 2 6-inch by 11-inch panels of your soft blue. And you're going to join those together so that they overlap about 1/4 of an inch. So the way I do this, hold on, I've got a little issue with my glue bottle. You can use score tape. I like to work with Art Institute Dry's clear adhesive. A little bit goes a really long way. It holds super well and it doesn't warp my paper, and no, I'm not compensated by them. It's just my favorite adhesive. So you can see I've overlapped this about 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to burnish this seam to seal it really well. And a little tip is, if you cut both of these at the same time, you're more likely to end up with even edges. So then bring in your scoring tool, and you're going to score this at 3, at 6, at 6 1/4. Then you're going to fold. Score it at 6 again. Then that final score line, line it up at 2.5 inches on your cutter and cut. Take this piece, cut it just under 2.5 inches, and then cut turn it and cut 2 1-inch by almost 2.5-inch strips from it. And these are going to be gussets for our pocket. So place this on your scoring tool. Score it in half at 1/2 inch. And those of you who've done this a million times, feel free to skip ahead. But I never know who's new. So then just fold this in half. Burnish it down so it'll lie nice. And what this does is it gives us more room in our pocket. So we're going to fold on that 3-inch score line. We're going to fold on the 6-inch score line. We already folded on the 6 1/4. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to score on this second 6-inch score line. And that's our basic 6 by 6 easel part. The reason we score that 1/4 inch spine is in there is that we have a pocket on the inside, and this helps it accommodate the goodies that you stuff in the pocket. And if you haven't made this already, if you go to my Throwback Thursday playlist on my channel, I have all the preceding tutorials there so you can get caught up. All right, so you see how I did? I just lined it up with the edge. The folded side is on the outside, and now we're just going to place adhesive here and adhesive here, and we're going to fold this up and burnish it down. And now we have a pocket. All right, so now bring in a 6 1/4 by 6 3/4 inch piece of white cardstock. Score a 1/2 inch on the left and a 1/2 inch on the top and bottom. Take your scissors, cut along the vertical score line up to the horizontal score line and swing out. Do that on each end. Fold your flaps in and burnish them. And then put a little adhesive in the corners. Burnish those corners down. Okay, now place adhesive on your little flaps. And this is your easel card, like this. We want this to go like this on the bottom. So we're centering it. Your fold is on the right and the open is on the left. And if you don't get it that way, it's not the end of the world. If you're left-handed, you might actually want to switch that around so that your opening is on the opposite side. But for a right-handed person, it makes more sense for the opening to be on the left. All right, so now you're going to flip this like this and see this is where your little hidden pocket on the bottom is. And we'll address that in just a minute. So now I'm going to put these here so that I can keep track of what I've cut. Now you want to cut a 5 3/4, just slightly larger. I go like a 1/16 of an inch over 5 3/4 because I just want that little skinny border. And we're not going to glue that down, but that's going to be the front of our card. Then we're going to go slightly under 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 with the same blue. And we're going to mat these together. Like this. I'm just going to move that for the moment. All right, and then from your 6 by 6 pad, you're going to cut a 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 inch piece. This is cut out of the bottom right-hand corner. And this is going to glue over the blue. Now from your 6 by 6, I want you to cut out the April ledger page. And I want you to mat it on a very thin mat of yellow and then again on the blue. You can see these are just slightly larger. And this is going to glue down on the left-hand side. Just like that. Okay. Then I made a shaker box, and what I used on the inside was this little image from the 6 by 6, and I just traced around. This is a Rene Bouquet's small heart frame, and I traced around it, and then I cut that out and backed it on the back, and I glued my acetate on the back of the frame, and then 3 rows of foam tape. Then I put my shaker mix on the image, and then positioned my heart over the shaker frame, over the bottom. And then that's how I made my shaker box. Sorry, I'm trying to think and work at the same time. Sometimes that's talking and working is not always easy. So this is going to glue down right here. And what I did was I came in where I had little gaps on the sides. I just covered them with other paper so that my sequins don't leak out. And this is going to go right here like this. All right. Then from your chipboard, you're going to take these 2 chipboard pieces, and I've sanded the edges of mine just a little bit. One of them is going to go here, so it kind of lines up just under the days of the week. The other one is going to go right here. And then I have these little birdie flowers. These are, I think they're called Bouquet Pastel Palette. I'm going to take 2 of these, and I'm going to put one of them upside down above and the other one right side up below. And you may want to add a little bit of hot glue behind those. I should have done that. Then this is a Rene Bouquet's Butterfly, and it's got adhesive on the back, but I'm going to bring in another foam tab because I want to kind of level this out, and I just cut the foam tab in half. And then I'm going to put the 3rd piece over this right here. And this is going to go just like this, below our heart. The only other thing we need to do is add ribbon up in the corner. So this is really reasonable ribbon, and I'll link on my website, and then I'll add the link to my website in the description box so that you can find a linked supply list for all of these goodies. This is going to go right here. And this is a 3-inch double loop bow. And then on top of that, this is a little iridescent string bow. And then I went into my embellishments, and I found this sweet little trowel and watering can. So that's going to go right there, just like that. And then these are Prima flowers that I had in my stash. These blue ones are. And this is going to go just like this. And see, now I can adjust my embellishments so that they sit right where I want them to. And then I have 2 yellow roses to kind of carry out the yellow and blue color palette of the card. I'm going to squish this up just a little bit. This is something I do when a flower's a little bigger than I want it to be. And I'm going to tuck one of these in right here, like that. And these yellow ones are from Renee Bouquets. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm kind of squinching it up. And this one's going to tuck in right here. So that completes the fronts. We're just going to set this aside. We're not going to add it to our card until later. All right. So that brings us down here to the pocket. And for the pocket, I want you to cut a 5 3/4 by 2 1/4 inch piece of your yellow cardstock, again, so that you have just that little blue border. And then a 5 1/2 by 2 inch piece of the 6 by 6. And I want to do the blue side. Oh, first, before we glue that down, this is from the 12 by 12. And I want you to glue this down along the top and center it. Looks pretty good. And then trim the edges. And just re-ink. I did ink everything with vintage tea dye. All right, just like that. And then these sweet little chicks are Renee Bouquets. And we're going to adhere them down like this. Then I have another bow. Well, no, I want to do this a little differently here. Got ahead of myself. So I've got some little leaves that I want to put down. Like this. Then I've got another blue flower. Another yellow rose. So pretty. A smaller yellow rose that goes right there. I'm going to come in with my ribbon. I'm going to pull the loops back. I put my adhesive on the knot, and I'm going to come in like this and use the point of my scissor to push those into place. I've got a minute to adjust while that glue sets up. Pretty pretty. And I've got another metallic bow to go right there. And then I've got an itty bitty rosebud to go right on the top. All right, so that's that. Now, forgot to write down on this one. Hold on. Yes, this is 5 7/8 by about 5. And this is going to sit inside our pocket. Line it up. Okay. There, you probably see better now. And then this is just a hair under 5 3/4 by 4 1/2. And this is cut from the 12 by 12. And it doesn't really matter what portion of that paper you use. You can pick and figure out. I kind of wanted that April showers bring May flowers sentiment up in the corner. And that's why I chose that. And then to go in our pocket, get the April ledger piece from the 4 by 4, from the 12 by 12, and you're just going to fold this so that it will fit in the pocket. And I'm just using my ruler, and I'm using the lines on the ledger to keep everything straight. And then just score this. And from your 6 by 6, there's this little piece that says Springtime and Easter Greetings. Center this. Looks pretty good. Then trim. So this goes in the pocket. And then you've got this Sweet Easter Greetings that also goes in the pocket. Now we're going to work up here. And I was a little bit short on my yellow. So what I did was I took a little scrap. The width is the part that's important. And it's cut just slightly larger than 5 3/4 inches wide, and just slightly taller than 2 3/4 inches tall. But, I mean, no, I'm sorry, just slightly larger than 2 3/4 inches. Sorry. I'll be captioning in the measurements. And by the way, I got my computer fixed. So I'll be using my regular program, and I'll be able to caption in things and put titles and all that stuff. So I'm pretty happy about that. And this goes up here like that. And you see, you really can't even tell that that piece was joined together. It's a good sneaky trick. And then along the bottom, we're just going to cut this piece. Inking it with my tea dye. There we go, pretty. And then this one is the correct. I had a piece that was big enough so I didn't have to do any piecing. But I didn't want to cut into a whole fresh piece of cardstock just to line these two panels. Oops. And then this is from the 12 by 12. We're going to use the blue side. Oops, I always do that. But before we do, Here's this border piece, or if you like, let's use the stamps just for the fun of it. They're so pretty. So kind of center these over. Just fold this like this. So what we've just made is like a little belly band. Did you see how I did that? Pretty simple. And then this layers over like that. And then from the 6x6, hold on, I lost some pieces. There we go. Your little tag from the 12x12 can now tuck in here. And then this little piece is from the 6x6. And I trimmed it around to where the yellow border is, and it will fit right there just as nice as you please. So that pretty much finishes all of that. All right, and we can go ahead now and put our cover on so you can see how it looks all put together. This blue and yellow combination is so beautiful for spring. All right. So see, now that sits just like that. I'm going to probably try to turn this butterfly just a little bit. There we go. I think that looks better. And let me fix his antennas. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. All right, now for that hidden pocket underneath. Let me put this over here. Bring in all our stuff. You're going to start with a 5.5 by 11 piece of paper and score it in half at 5.5. And then you're going to cut out from the 12x12 the April ledger, I don't know, postcard maybe thing. And you're going to trim it on the sides so that it's just under 5.5. And the way I do that to keep it even, I did it 5 3/8 inches, is I'll take a 1/4 inch off each side at a time, and then I'll go down to 1/8 and so forth and so on, so that I end up with an even piece. And then from your sticker sheet, get this little pink scallop and space it like that. You're going to trim it right there. All right. So that's all we do on the front, and fold is on the top. So open this. A bit of a mess here. Hold on. Okay, so this is I forgot to write these down, but this is a 5 1/4. Yes, 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 square from the 12x12. Then take a 3 by 5 1/4 inch piece of your yellow paper and score a 1/2 inch flap on the one side. We're just going to make a little flap page here. Just like that. Then you're going to cut a 2 3/8 by 5 1/8 piece from the 6x6 of your blue text. And that's going to go here. Okay. Then this flips open. From your 6x6, cut out the postcard, and you're just going to place your adhesive like that. You don't want to get your glue here. And then you also have this little strip right beneath it, and if you think to do it, which I should have, you can cut them all out as one piece because this is right below this, but I did not have that foresight. Glue this right beneath. All right. That's pretty good. All right. Take this piece and go cover that seam. Then you've got this strip of 3 little tags. Cut them all as one piece from the 12 by 12. Score between them an accordion fold. Make a little pull-out element. And this is going to go, let's see, yeah, this is going to go right here. Just like that. So now you can cut out, these are from the 6 by 6, the 8 by 8 pad. I think I've been calling it 6 by 6 the whole time. This is an 8 by 8 pad, sorry guys. Put this on the bottom, and then have a happy day on the top. Okay, there we go. And then this is going to glue on the top. So you've got room for journaling, and you've got room for a nice photo behind the flap. This would be a great place to put a picture of your kids or grandkids all dressed up in their Easter finery. So see, it's just a little flap page. Cute, right? Okay, everything looks straight. All right. Now down on the bottom, you're going to cut a 5 1/4 by 7 3/8 inch piece. This is from, I believe, the bottom right-hand corner of the 12 by 12. You're going to score this at 5 1/4 and fold. And we're going to make another gusset pocket. Just like that. And in the pocket, you can put that sweet little image and this little tag. And then to line the top of the pocket, I've cut a 5 1/4 inch piece of this border strip from the 12 by 12. Oops. And you can also slip photos inside the pocket. So just like that. So this folds shut. Bring in your card base, and this is going to slip. You have to get both ends in. or it won't go anywhere. This is one of those things that's way easier to do when you're not trying to show how to do it on camera. There we go. Whoops. Well, I'm just going to turn it on its side, y'all. There we go. And then it sits out. This glue is all still a little wet, so it makes it a little harder to move, but once the glue sets up. So see how this is your pull tab? And your tag just sits in there, and there you go, just as cute can be, to sit on your desk or a buffet or in your office, wherever you want to dress up and add a little springtime beauty. So that is our April folio with Time to Flourish. And this is Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I love to hear from you when you make them. Some of you actually share pictures with me on my Facebook page, my Kathy by Design Facebook page, and that is always a treat as well. All right, guys, go get your craft on. See you next week. Bye.